map L4 of the land use element of the Middletown Comprehensive Community Plan is amended to bring consistency between the future land use plan and the town zoning map for several parcels fronting on Paradise Avenue, Prospect Avenue, Mayford River Road, River Run Road, Reservoir Road, Greg Craig Road, and Paradise Court. Subject parcels identified on the attached map, the comprehensive plan future land use designation of all subject parcels would change from low-density residential to medium-density residential.
The public hearing remains open from the last meeting.
Second?
Okay. Does anybody here want to speak in regard to that? Seeing none.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Second?
Okay, motion second to close. All in favor?
Motion to adopt said amendment to the town's comprehensive community plan on its second reading.
Second?
Okay, motion second to adopt. Any conversation?
Yes, sir.
Okay?
So I just want to make sure, whoever wants to answer, Ron, Peter, or Sean, that there's no, it's not going to affect the residents in a property value in a negative fashion.
That's correct.
And we know that for a fact.
We know that for a fact. I know at previous public hearings before the planning board, that specific question was asked of the tax assessor, whether that would in any way change the formulation of the assessments for these properties, and the answer was no.
And what happens if it does, for some strange unforeseen reason?
I think
We'll fix it.
I mean, there's no change to the zoning. We're changing the comp plan map, so it's on the other side of the ledger. We're bringing.
You know me, I just like extra
Yeah, no,
security.
I think this is what the council wanted, was to keep the zoning, and now we're just bringing the comp plan, instead of change, where the.
And I
comp
agree,
plan
I
is
just want to
changed,
make sure it's not
we're just bringing
affecting,
it back.
Yeah.
has a negative impact.
No, and
Because that's not even, I know for a fact that the future land use plan is not a consideration in the setting of the assessed value of these
Okay,
properties.
just
Part of
want to
the
make sure.
And I think it helps avoid any unnecessary legal fees that someone would have
Okay.
to pay, but, because the documents are synced up.
Just real quick. So we're
Counselor
leaving,
Toronto.
so we're leaving it R30.
Correct. The zoning will not change.
So we're changing the comprehensive now to reflect zoning.
Correct.
We won't change it, but it's the same.
Just want to make sure.
They went R40, we went 30
I
to 40,
understand.
and we knew there might be a problem.
Yep.
Okay,
Good to be cautious.
thank you.
Okay. So we have a motion to receive ordinance on this first reading? It's been seconded.
It's been adopted, we've been adopted.
We adopt it.
Second reading.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. Item number 39, is that correct, Madam Clerk?
38.
38.
38.
Just so see if you're awake over there. An ordinance to the town of Middletown, this is the first reading. An ordinance to the town of Middletown, an ordinance and amendment to the Title 11, Business Regulations, Chapter 119, Small Wireless Facilities. This is a new section, see attached ordinance.
Motion to receive ordinance on its first reading.
Second?
And motion is second to receive on its first reading.
Question.
Counselor Flynn?
Could I just get a background as to where this came from?
Yeah,
What
this
all
is,
about?
I would categorize this under the category of housekeeping. This is to bring the town into compliance with the Small Wireless Siting Act, which was passed by the state in 2017. These deal with small, they're about the size of a trash can, no bigger than 6 cubic feet. They're part of 5G networks. And basically what this does is it creates a statewide process for approval and siting of these facilities, and because the state wants to make sure that 5G expands throughout the state, this law requires us to pass an ordinance to permit these, and it also makes them an allowed use in every zoning district, and it also allows them to be placed on any utility poles in the public right-of-way.
So there is a contingent out there, that is quite serious about the radiation or wave effects on health, children's health, communities' health.
And
Can
that
you
may be
address
one of the-
that, please?
That may be one of the reasons why the state passed this, because it didn't want local ordinances to prohibit the expansion of the 5G network in certain parts of the state. So basically what this law requires the town to pass this ordinance to come into compliance, and it basically grants the wireless carriers the right to with very limited say on the town's part to place these on any utility poles in the public right of way.
Well, so does that also mean that the state is appropriately limiting so there aren't so many in one area if indeed there are health impacts? I'm just, it seems, or is it just so that, you know, they're pushing 5G on us without consideration that there may be?
Yeah, this is a model ordinance that frankly is being adopted throughout the country, and something that the wireless carriers have been lobbying for at state houses throughout the country. And so you're seeing this law being passed, not only in Rhode Island, but in a lot of different states, to allow the expansion of the 5G network.
So is this a state law that we're just
It's a
copying
state
to
law
have
that
into our?
requires us to have a process for someone to come in and apply for a permit. Also requires if the town owned utility poles, I think we might have two. If they place them on a town-owned pole, we get $150 a year for that, but.
Would we, as a town, if there was evidence that came to us that said, oh, you don't want more than so many of these in a square, half-mile square, could we limit the number in a certain
I
area?
mean, as a practical matter, it's gonna be somewhat limited by the number of poles that are out there. You know, so long as we're treating these sorts of facilities the same, and not any more discriminatorily than we would treat other utility carriers or other wireless facilities, then yeah, we'd have some leeway, not a lot.
Unless it's shown that, yes, there are, you know, impacts, health impacts, then we would have the right to adjust this accordingly? If that were to come up.
Counselor Toronto.
Thank you, Mr. President. I've heard the same concern, probably the same person.
Since
Or
it's
people.
growing, it's
Yeah.
growing.
I guess the first thing I heard was there's gonna be a lot of these around because they don't, my understanding is they don't go through too many, you know, solid obstacles or walls and things. So my understanding is there's gonna be quite a few of these put around town. Is that fair to say? Does anyone know that?
I would expect that, yes.
I mean, do we want, you know, so I'm like, are we gonna see it like every 5 feet? Are we gonna see them one per neighborhood? I mean, what are we looking at here?
I don't know I don't have those technical answers. We could try to get those for you for the second reading.
Yeah, I'd like to hear it, because I think it's like, they're supposed to be like right next to each other, one per house.
There's gonna be a lot of them.
And I don't know if we want those all around our town.
I don't think so. I mean, it was like, it reminds me of the windmills, wind turbines when they first came. If we don't regulate it,
This is the first reading, right?
It's the first reading.
Can we
We'll get
get
the
a picture
information,
of
but
what these things look
I
like?
guess the message that I want to send is, this is, and I know Councilman Rogers doesn't like it when I say this, this is, the state is basically legislating this at the state
Build it.
level.
build a wall.
That's the wrong thing. Can we get a picture?
I got one for you,
And,
Ray.
on the roof.
So we are, the town, under the state law, is very limited, and the state law specifically says that we cannot prohibit these.
Why not? Why can't we
Because-
say what we want and then we don't want in our town? I know you don't make those rules, but
Yep.
I don't understand it.
I think the state is looking at 5G as an economic driver, and they don't want patches of it throughout the state. They want it to cover the entire state,
They want a lot.
or at least that's what they've been convinced.
It's in Newport, actually, that picture's in Newport.
Okay, we have a motion to receive the ordinance on its first reading. Do I have a second?
Yes, you had a second.
Second.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. 39, an ordinance of the Town of Middletown, first reading. An ordinance of the Town of Middletown, an ordinance and amendment to Title III, Chapter 36, Fee Schedule D, Parks and Recreations, 1, Beach Parking Fees, see attached ordinance.
Motion to receive ordinance on its first reading.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to receive on its first reading. Any conversation?
Just a question to Mr.
Counselor Flynn.
Thank Thank you. Question, Mr. Brown, did you prepare this additional piece of attachment for this item number?
The finance director did, yes.
So I guess I'm just asking if it could be explained. I wasn't
Sure.
really exactly sure what it was telling me. Us. Thank you.
Good evening.
So this document that was prepared is just identifying what the extra revenue for the $5 fee would cover in the '20 budget. So the total projected revenue is $310,000 from this ordinance change. And out of that, we always talk about the capital replenishment fund, where this is $5 would go for that originally. Well, $196,000, or 63%, of this new money will be going towards the capital replenishment, and the balance will be going towards the operations for beach cost, and I also identified a security cost from the subcommittee, which they've identified. They wanted improved security, and also the lifeguard cost, which the state increased all of the lifeguard wages.
Right,
So that is what this explains.
okay. That's a lot of $5.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion that's been seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, town council matters. Number 40. By vote of the council, June 3rd, 2019, resolution of the council in support of an amended Plastic Waste Reduction Act.
Motion to pass said resolution.
Second?
A motion is second to pass. Any conversation? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Town administrator, item number 41. Memorandum of the finance director through the town administrator with enclosures, contract award, financial audit services, FY 2019 through FY 2021.
Motion to receive said memorandum.
Second?
A motion is second to receive. All in favor?
Aye.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the council. In front of you is a contract award for the financial audited services for the 3-year period 2019 to 2021. The process to get to this point was the finance department prepared the RFP, the request for proposal, and we send that to the Auditor General for their approval before we can even send it out to obtain proposals. After we received the proposals, which we received 4, the finance department, the deputy finance director, the finance accounting manager, and myself reviewed them, and we graded them based on 3 categories. And this was all based on what the Auditor General identifies as how we have to review the proposals. One of them is the audit fees, which is identified as the formula that is used for the grading. The other one is the qualifications of the audit firm, and finally, the audit approach of the auditing firm. After the review of the proposals, Haig Sahadi came out top. It was very close with the second one, but Haig Sahadi did come in top. So then we submit that to the Auditor General for their approval, and today we did receive their approval, so they have approved Haig Sahadi as the
Okay.
auditors.
Good, thank you, Mark.
Okay.
Thanks, Mark.
Item number 42, resolution of the council, award of the contract, financial audit service, FY 2019 through FY 2021.
Motion to pass said resolution.
Second?
A motion is second to pass. Any conversation? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
Second?
Okay, a motion is second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.